Holly, can you come back there? Thank you. Good morning. Everybody awake? Yes. What up? Well, that doesn't sound like awake. We'd like to welcome you guys here to our Hallmark workshop. First and foremost, we'd like to thank Brookhaven and the Alpha Delta Pi chapter for hosting us. Sherry Van Fort, their lead advisor. Everybody say yay. Okay, let's see. Yes, they are hosting us. They're providing the snacks, the lunch later on, and we hope you learn a lot today. Just want to give you, just want to say howdy to our special guests today. We have Tammy Edmonds. Where are you, Tammy? Somewhere, there she is. District 4 Vice President. Beside her, Dr. Molly Harris, the Assistant Regional Coordinator. There we go. Sean, are you here yet? No. Sean's not here yet. Our Texas Region President is on her way.
Is she coming?
Mary Linder, District 2 District 2 Coordinator. There she is. And of course, the Alpha Delta Pi officers who are scattered about and over here taking care of things. Again, we want to thank you guys for hosting us and putting together the young ones. I'm going to introduce the workshop folks today putting this together. First and foremost, we have Kenneth Rumke over here. He's our treasurer for the Texas Regional Alumni Association and our advisor. And more importantly, he puts up with me because I'm his roomie most of the time when we go on trips. So he's a saint pretty soon. Specialties now? I had to pick this butt because I'm really good at it.
Yes. Tell a little of your history.
My history?
Yeah, guys, when he calls your name, can you tell a little bit about why you're allowed to be here, credentialed to be here?
Well, other than serving, I don't know, how many years?
A long time.
A long time, 21 years since I've been inducted into Phi Theta Kappa. I was inducted in 1993 at Lone Star College, North Harris, which at that time was North Harris College, and we've gone through a couple of name changes since then. Now they're down in Lone Star College, North Harris. I've served now as the region advisor for the Alumni Association for 4 years, something like that. But I also serve internationally. I serve on the international. I am the chair of the Alumni Advisory Council with International's headquarters. I was appointed to a 3-year term by Dr. Risley for that. I'm in the middle of a second year, and we'll have another year to serve on that committee. And that committee works with the alumni and sets goals and things up that the alumni do to work with the chapters. So that's where some of the Golden Opportunity Scholarships that you see us award, that's where that committee came up with from that, and we do that. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay. We have William Vedetto right here, 13 years. Let us talk about yourself, William.
Currently the alumni, but also the advisor for the North Lake chapter in Irving, Texas, for the Alpha Delta chapter. Been here for a while.
Helps us with our techie stuff, because that's confusing. Deborah Jensen, 11 years.
I was inducted in 2003. I was historian first, short stint of the vice president, and then president. And while I was president, we were also the D2VP. I wasn't the rep, but I actually hung around with her a lot and traveled with her a lot. I currently work at North Lake College in Sea Life. And I also am one of the advisors. And then, let's see, been to several conferences, trainings. I've done this workshop several times. I don't remember how many times I've done officer trainings, various things.
Yep. Holly Carrico, been in the back 4 years.
5 years.
I was inducted in 2010, and then in my 4-year run, getting my 2-year degree from
Jenny Lee, 9 years.
I was inducted in 2005 to the Alpha Phi chapter at Austin Community College. In the Texas Regional Alumni Association, I've been historian and currently I'm a District 5 representative. And I'm one of the people that helped found the Alpha Gamma Pi Alumni Association.
Also with Jenny, those of you who have entered into the essays under the Walter B. Cooper Scholarship, Jenny started that. With her own money, she's the one who started that scholarship.
Well, some of it.
We have Catherine Pesci, 9 years.
I was inducted in 2005 as well, in the Alpha Gamma Phi chapter. I've been in multiple officer positions in the chapter and president, and I'm currently president of the Alumni Association in Rasmussen.
Just been handed this message. Nancy Long, District 3 coordinator here.
She actually just stepped out.
We'll miss you. Myself, I'm Danny Rose. I inducted in 1989. That's 25 years. I joined when I was 10 years old. Prodigy. I have served as the District 2 Vice President in 94. President of my chapter twice, Vice President, everything but treasurer because they wouldn't let me hold the money.
Smart people.
So, and a lot of training, workshops, countless conventions and regional meetings. Back then they called it the state convention and national conventions, and even a part of it when it was the Texas-New Mexico region. And then we have, last but not least, Candace Eldridge.
I'm Candace Eldridge. I have been in Phi Theta Kappa since 1993. I inducted at Collin College in Plano. We have been doing training, good golly.
This is our 4th year.
Huh?
Are you talking about the Hallmark? This is our
Done this
4th
one
year.
for 4 years. To give you a little history about our training that we go through to kind of prep you for today, we have to work directly with headquarters staff. There are certain staff in each area that we train directly with so that we know we're giving you guys the latest and greatest information. We also have to train every year. We cannot let it lapse. We actually have to do training separately. We go to the international conventions, we go to the general sessions, we go to the training workshops, but then separately we turn around and work with certain staff members one-on-one, either via phone call. Some of us have been known to drive to headquarters for one-on-one training, things like that. So what we're giving you today is all of our information to the best of our ability anyway, and hopefully you get some more folks on that stage. Danny, I know you have years, so I'll let you wrap up with the years.
Oh, that year, okay. Thought that was a slam.
No.
Yeah, so between the, I think, 8 of us now, we have 114 years of experience at Phi Theta Kappa. Learning curve, notwithstanding. Not going to say we know our stuff, but we kind of know our stuff, and we really want to share that. That's why we're here, because now as alumni, that's what we do. We share what we have learned, both good and bad. And hopefully you can take the good with you and avoid the bad completely. And Nancy just walked in. Nancy over here. Hi. District 3 coordinator. I know that you missed your Sherry Van Court over here, the advisor for today, and blame Deb for anything that goes wrong. So now we're going to start the workshop part, please.
All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to start. I do ask a huge favor. Can everyone please silence your cell phones? Silence those phones for us. You can have them on vibrate, that's all fine and dandy. What we've got going on, you see all the cameras. If you have a question at any point in time, ask. All right. What we'll do is we will repeat the question. We want to make sure it gets put on the webcam feeds. We've got feeds in El Paso, Odessa, Ohio, Kentucky, and we're working on one in Illinois. He still hasn't connected. So we're trying to get the information out as much as we can. If you have questions, they're going to have questions. All right? They will also be able to ask us questions from any of those feeds, and we will also be able to have them on the computer as well. So we've got some different things going on. Questions? You bet. Pictures of anything you want. The Prezi presentation I will share with Debbie Esparza so that she can get it on our website as well, so you'll have access to that. We are going to be videoing it as well so that the recording will also be put on the website. So if you need information, you forget something, we'll have it on there for you. Thank you.
That Prezi.
All right, so our overview today, I did forget one little insert. You have to bear with me. We just came from the Kansas region doing the same presentation. And we had, there are words on here, so I had to change a few things. And realized a few minutes ago, I left off yearbook, but we will cover yearbook. So we've got Vitae. How many of you already have your Vitae ready to go? A few. All right. Well, hopefully once we get finished with today, you'll know what's expected, what to look for, and how it works. We've got letters of recommendation where you are going to be creating your own letter of recommendation. Yes, it's difficult. Just think of how hard it is when someone's trying to write it for you if you don't give them the information. We'll do common application, individual award, college project, yearbook, I'll slide it in there, and then honors and action. We do a lot of these trainings. We also do a lot of officer training. So if we're going too fast, if you don't know the language, if there's a question you have on something we have said, stop us and ask. All right? At any time, stop us and ask us. All right. The first thing I do want to show you guys is this right here. It's the website, the myptk.org. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that link in particular is the one you need to be most familiar with at this time of the year. This is also the link that you go to for the competitive edge. How many of you are doing 5-star competitive edge? Okay, by the end of this month, I expect you to all be at least 1 star. Especially if you're going to apply for a scholarship. Shame on y'all. All right, so let me see. I know the link doesn't want to play nice. This is what it looks like. When you get to the MyPTK, this is the link that it'll take you to. Okay? And you can also get to this link directly from the Phi Theta Kappa website. When you click on the little competitive edge, those are the ones that will take you to it, but myptk.org. This is where you're going to have the scholarships for the common application. This is also where you create your teams that work on your hallmarks. All right, so I wanted to show you that up front. We'll kind of be bouncing back and forth on this one, showing you where things are and how to maneuver through. All right. All right, so with Vitae, does everybody have the Vitae sheet? I know they were being passed around. What I want you to do is look at the sheet. Looks
We don't have a sheet.
Yeah, no sheets on this row.
like this. You guys raise your hands if you do not have them. I have 150 copies, so everybody has a copy. Anybody need a pen, by the way? We have plenty. You're going to be writing. All right. When you look at a Vitae, this is it's your resume, okay? But not your job resume so much. Right? This is your life work. Vitae in Latin actually means life work. So you're going to go through and put literally everything that you've done on here. And when I say everything you've done, I mean everything you've done. Okay? At the very beginning, it starts off looking like a regular resume. Right? You have your name, your address, all that kind of information. You're going to have your jobs, and when you have jobs, you're not putting massive descriptions, okay? You're not applying for a job. But we do want to know what you've done, all right? You want to make sure to have your education on there. If you do not have your associate's degree yet, that's okay. Put your even though you don't have it yet, you can put that on your Vita as the expected date of graduation for it as well. All right? And you might want to put where you think you're transferring to. If you have any certificates, you want to make sure to list them on there, especially the certifications for Cisco or some gaming webbing programs, things like that. Put that on there. And then this is where the meat comes in. Okay, this is where the heavy duty stuff is. You need to fill this out to the absolute best of your ability that you can. Okay? All right. When it says organizations and clubs, it says name the club, what they are, all right, what they stand for, what they do, how active are they, and what impact does that organization make either to your college community or the city or something like that. Okay? It does not have to be educational. It can be anything. It can be if you're a parent and you're involved in the PTO or PTA of your child's school. That can also go on. Okay? The more descriptions you have on this section, the better off somebody is going to be when they're writing a letter of recommendation for you. You're going to list all of your officer positions separately. Okay? Put those separately. You want the date, you want the position, you want to put on there if you were elected or appointed. And then you want to tell us, what did you do as that position, and list every position that you've held separately. Don't lump them all. If I didn't have an officer and I did all of these things, if you've been an officer in two different things, two different positions, put separate positions. But make sure to describe what you did, and again, what impact did you make as an officer on that team in that position. Okay? When you have, the next one is committee work. I know that every one of you who are officers, by the way, how many of you are an officer of your chapter? Okay.
Awesome.
Those of you who are officers, you are also committee chairs. Because I can guarantee you had to work on that Honors in Action project and the college project, and every other project you had on campus, right? Put your committee work there, and it's the same thing like an officer position. You're going to put what committee, the date, what it was for, what impact that committee made, all of it, okay? You also want to specify what you were responsible for on that committee, okay? Leadership contributions, this is separate. Okay? Leadership contributions is talking about what workshops have you presented? What have you led on your campus? What, if you are the one who's designated to meet with the college president once a month, I know some of the chapters do that, that's a leadership position as well. All right, so make sure to put those types of activities on there. You also want in this section to put, what have you attended? So how many of you attended the Honors Institute this past summer? That needs to go on here. How many of you attended leadership? Okay, same thing. This is a separate entry. You want that on here too. You also want to tell what you did at the conference. So if you attended what workshops, put those on there. Explain what the workshops were about. And you want to tell what you learned at that workshop as well. The conventions, you want to make sure you talk about what general sessions and what speakers you saw and what you learned from them and how you can turn around and apply that to your chapter. All right? And then if you, I know many of your chapters after you come back from a convention, you turn right around and then you present the same workshops to your officers to teach them what you just learned. That goes under leadership as well, because it's you guys presenting. Yes?
Just like you said that we could put that we plan to get our associate in or the bachelor's in, so can we do the same like if we're planning and working towards going to the Leadership International?
No, because if something happens in the in-between and you don't go, it's still on that event.
All right.
And if I'm writing a letter of recommendation for you for the fall common application, and I see that, I'll have that in there. The graduation thing is a little different. They know that that's coming and things happen. But in the actual stuff that you've done, this is what you've done previous, not, or currently working on, not the future stuff. All right. Activities. How many have done activities outside of the chapter? Either in your community or on campus? Oh, look, that's a whole section just for you. All right. I know most of the Dallas County schools do the Trinity Trash Bash. Most of the Tarrant County schools do Trinity Trash Bash. All at different times. It depends on whatever time the city decides to do it, or whatever Keep Blank Beautiful decides in that area. But that would be something that you would also put in this area too. If you work with SGA and they have an activity, you can put that on here. You can put, how many of you are SGA officers and went to the District 2 meeting on the, what was it, the 25th? Region 2, sorry. Region 2, some of you? All right, that would be a convention that you attended. All right, what happened during it? Service projects. You want to make sure to list what service projects you participated in. Or, on the flip side, if you actually were one of the committee chairs or you led the service project, make sure you clarify whether you participated, led, or co-presented. All right, you want to make sure to use that terminology so that we are very clear. If I'm looking at your Vitae, I know exactly what you've done. All right. Last little section is the awards and scholarships. Every award that you've received, you want on there. If you've received a scholarship, doesn't matter how much. You don't have to put the amount of money. You just want to make sure to put the scholarship. But in addition to that, you want to tell us what the scholarship was for. All right. If it was for grades, tell us. If it was for your service that you did to the community, tell us that too. Okay? If you have a strong Vitae, you can get very strong letters of recommendation. All right. Also, when an advisor gets these letters of recommendation requests, okay, they get 20. If they're the only advisor in that chapter, that means they have to write 20 letters. How do you distinguish letters between all the different people? It's your Vitae. Okay. Many of you will get a generic letter, and all they do sometimes is just change the name and a few activities. But if you give them a full Vitae, then they can have generally 10 pages worth of stuff to pull from. If you want it specifically for a service scholarship, then highlight on your Vitae the service section and say, this is what I need you to concentrate on. Or if it's dealing with leadership, this is the section I want you to concentrate on. Yeah?
How recent did the activities have to be?
Question was, how recent do the activities have to be? Anything college level and up. So you don't want to put a bunch of high school stuff on there. Yeah?
Even if it's like a school service that it did in another country, does that count?
As long as it's since you've been in college, put it on there. Because a lot of you I know go home. If you're an international student, sometimes you go home over Christmas break or you go home over the summer and you do projects once you get home as well. That can go on here too. Kenneth?
Would you mention length, and then how should they handle something like the Walter B. Cooper that only is a 3-page limit?
I don't know what link, what do you mean?
How long is
Basically,
it?
what he's talking about is saying
Length.
is you have a master Vita, and then you can break that Vita up into different parts to, like she said, highlight or hand for a specific scholarship. Also, when you're applying for certain awards and scholarships, you can customize and take things out of the Vita for certain scholarships. Like Walter B. Cooper has a page limit of how long. So what you want to do is you want to take your strongest stuff and that pertains to Walter B. Cooper or the scholarship and put that into a separate Vita. And so you will have and you'll pull from the master Vita.
I know some people who have their master Vitas that can be up above 100 pages long. I know, well, Molly's, I believe.
I'm at about 20.
Okay. I was like, I
But you have to, I mean, you have to realize that that's a PhD.
right, and that
There's a lot of
covers,
stuff in there.
that would cover all of the things she's done, all of her work, all kinds of different stuff, all right? Your Vitas, I can easily see many of you having at least 5 pages. Minimum. This is not a resume, your little 1-page submission for a job.
Also, if you go into education, a lot of them want to see your Vita, not a resume.
Molly, did you?
Well, just, the question came up about high school activities. If you're a freshman in college, some of those high school activities may be applicable. So they may actually help you. But if you are 5 years removed from high school, then including high school stuff isn't really going to help you much. Does that make sense? So I want you to kind of think about how that may help or hinder, depending on where you are in your life.
Especially if you were a member of the SGA in high school and now you just started at your new school and your SGA. Okay, they're going to link together. You had a question back there.
Well, I was wondering about the advisors and the college application. You said, they have 20 to fill out. Is it recommended that you use your advisor for the college application, or would you use other faculty members that you're
It depends on the application itself. Some require an advisor letter, some don't. And we're going to get to some of those a little later.
And that would be just Vitae Kappa advisors or advisors at the school?
It depends on what the application
Okay,
requests.
all right.
Many of the applications request, if it's a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship, many of them will request an advisor letter from your chapter advisor. If you have 5 advisors, lucky you, you get to pick. If you have 1, that poor advisor sometimes has to write in. So you want to have the information on your Vitae so that you can stand out in their letter.
Yes.
Additional question? Yes.
You were saying, once you start college, if you're so list the stuff after college. If you're somebody who started college later on, you can list stuff after you graduated high school that you get in between college.
Sure. Yeah. To show that there was a gap and you came back. Yeah, you bet. What else? Anybody else? Other questions before we move on? Okay. On the back side of the Vita page for you, these are some do's and don'ts. Back in 2010, Dr. Harris and Lori Skillestad put the do's and don'ts together, and we've still been using the same ones. Gives you some great tips, tricks, and pointers for you. Okay? Just more information than anything for you, so that you have that to use and kind of use as a guideline. On the front side, you have my information. You can contact me. On the back side, you have Lori and Dr. Harris's emails. Hopefully that'll help you if you need it. All right. I am going to pass it on over